All right. Guys, let us see how to answer the questions, the assignments that is given, and let's see how to quickly deal with the information. All right, so look at the data set you were given, customer ID, gender, marital status, and all this information that been given to us. And we just throw through and then look at it all through, and 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 all through. Okay. Um, coming guys. Just want to show us something. Okay. All right. In case you're wondering, I just want to show you something. All right. Okay, so let's get back to business now. We are starting in earnest and then we looking how to answer the questions that were given. Now, before we start analyzing, so first of all, we have to make a copy of this data set here so that we can always look at it for reference sake. Okay. So how do I do that? I come to my data here like so. I hold down my control, I left click and I drag and leave it. A duplicate copy have been given. So I can now call this one analysis. All right. So I have a duplicate copy of this. With this, I can move straight to business. Then I can always have this one as my reference and also as my backup. All right. So without further ado, let's see how to answer the questions real quick. All right. So let's go to the first question. It says, how many variables of columns do we have? How many variables of columns do we have? Without further ado, we have to first of all look at this data set critically, and then it will really make sense if you just go to the data set and see if there are any anomalies now. So we can check. Now reaching where we have the other date. This is actually date, but this date is not giving us the date vibe. All right, it's kind of like a serial number. So what do? We convert this to a regular date. But even before we even do that, I think we have to convert the whole of this range to a table. You know that the table solve the limitation of the range, and then we're going to convert this one to a table at once. Control T as usual. Then voila, the table have been made for us. Now, before we continue, we're going to do something very important. I'm going to give this table a name. All right, and I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this table um revenue. All right, revenue. All right, that is the name of this table. Now we're going to see real quick why we need to call this table a name. The following questions will really see how to where that's going to be useful and necessary. All right, now that we've given this table a name, revenue, let's see what we can and what we are going to do. Now, checking this, I went through the order date and this one that this order date is given in what in the series, which is not supposed to be like this. So I'm going to change this to a regular date. Control down to select all, Control Shift up again to select all the dates there. Shift Control down. And then I change it from general to a short date. Now looking at the normal dates now, the date vibe is there. The same thing for the bed dates. Shift Control down. I'll change it from the serial to a short date. All right. So that's that. The next information we're going to be answering is going back to analysis assessment. The first question is, how many variables of columns do we have? How many variables of columns do we have? So normally we can just simply count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool, but that's not the best way to go. Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to be using our formula. We see equals to, check it out, columns. Columns, not dot column. Now, the place of the array now, normally you should select this table, all right? But instead of doing that, remember that we call this, give this table a name, revenue. So we're just going to call the name of this table like this and like so. You see the edge of the table have been selected for us, and I can simply enter and voila, we've returned the number of columns that we have on the table, that's 10. So I'm going to copy like so, come down to my analysis here, and I'm going to paste it here. I'll say right click. I'm not just going to paste it. If I paste it, You see, it's coming with the formula. I don't want it with the formula, so I'm going to paste it, just the values. So I come here to my paste special, like this, and then the values, and I select, that's it. All right, so let's move to the next one. The next question, rather, is how many rules of record? How many rules of record do we have? The records, all right? You know the drill already now. Simply going to do the same thing, equals to rows, like so, and I call the name of our table revenue, and I double click and I enter. We can tell that we have 17,000 at these rows. Okay, now let's confirm it. We can confirm by simply anywhere here and control down, and then we can tell that we have about 17,000. All right, now let's check it out. This particular record here is not supposed to be on the database. I'm going to remove this particular one. And I delete it. All right. So we can tell that we have roughly about 17,400 and something from the records we have here, from the number of rows we have. So we almost the same thing. But there's another thing we're going to be doing. Control up. This is 17,422. Okay. I select my table here, go to my table design, and then make sure I activate my total row column here. And voila, we can tell that we have 14,700 and put 17,422, and then we can copy that value without waste of time. Copy like so, come down here, right click, and then paste special, this small arrow, and then paste special, this, I paste it there. All right, the next question is, what is the minimum revenue? Minimum revenue, simple, we go to where we have our revenue here. So this is our revenue column. So we've activated our row total. We can simply check here, minimum. And we can tell minimum revenue is 2.5. Then we copy it like that. You know the drill already now. Right click and paste special values. All right, that's another way to do it. The value have been pasted for us. Okay, we go again to analysis. Okay, then this question again. What is the maximum revenue? Maximum. You know what to do. Select the same place. Maximum. All right, so we can tell that's the maximum. Okay, we're going to copy it. Control C, bring it down here. Bring it down. Paste special like so. Values. And then we enter. We can tell the values there. All right, the next one is, what is the total revenue? The sum of revenue. Okay, we need the same thing. We come here this time around and select the sum of revenue like this, and we can tell that's it. We're going to copy it, bring it down here, then right click, paste special, open values, and then voila. That's that. The next one is, what is the average revenue? The average revenue. You know what to do. Under revenue, like this, average is given. Simply copy, bring it down here, right click, paste special values like so, and okay. All right, so we've been able to solve that question. Now we can still edit this a bit. We can still see how to like I don't like how, so let's reduce the number of decimals here. So we can reduce the decimals here. 3. Okay, this is it. I think this is okay. All right, that's okay. All right, and then we can select all of this. If you switch, come to your cell styles, and then make it a regular one, normal, and we can bold in that. So we're done with the first part of the analysis. Okay. The first part of the analysis have been done for us. Okay. This one. And then we can also add a comma if we so wish. All right, so it gives us better clarity of what we're doing. Now, the next one is the data preparation task. Now, this is where you want to really open your eyes and check this thing out. The first question on this second case 2, data preparation, is derive new columns for year, month, day, and weekday. All right, so now let's go here. We're going to be deriving a new column called year. All of them, that will be based on the other date. So we come to analysis here. How do we go up? Control up. So we select, we put a new column year like this. propagate for us equals to year from where order date. Select order dates, and year is extracted for us. We can see the next one is what? Month. Month like so, all right, equals to month. Okay, you know the drill. From order dates, the month comes out for us. But now check it out. But the month is giving us, okay, let me just do for the day so that we can get what we're trying to say. Day, take these guys out. All right, so we have day now, say equals to day. Select this from order dates. Now, here's what I'm trying to say. We have the months given as numbers, and we have the days also given as numerical values. So sometimes it's a bit confusing. You can't tell the difference between both of them. Yes, this is June. This is February. This is June 2nd. All right. This is day is 2nd. This is June. So what are we going to do? We're going to change this one. We want to get the month in text, like in textual value, and not just in numbers. So what do we do? We're going to use the text function. Because with text function, double click order date like so, and then I return it like months. I put my quotes here and I say M. It's going to return it like months. So we can see that we have June, August, that's us. So that's where we use the text function and makes it gives clarity, better clarity. So you should know when to use particular functions. Now the last one was day and weekday. So let's look at the weekday as well. Weekday, of course, we make a column for weekday like this. Then we say equals to weekday. Of course, weekday of other dates, it returns for us 5, 11, 1. But yet again, this weekday is giving me 5, 1, 2. These are each day, understand, represent the value of that day in a week, the numerical value of that day, position of that day in a week. Now let's make this one kind of like textual, right? So we're going to be using, again, I'm going to be using the text value because that weekday vibe is not, in numbers, is not really what I'm looking for. This, and I say, I give it as this. Okay, so the, and enter. So we can see, okay, that is Thursday, all right, Sunday, and all that information. I think that's very clear, very straightforward, no gimmicks, right? So that's very straightforward, and we can continue. The next one is merge the first name and last name together as customer name in lowercase. All right, so we're going to be making a new column called customer name. All right, customer name, and then we perform analysis there. Customer name, customer name. All right, now what is the instruction given there? We asked to merge the first and the last name together. All right. So let's merge the first and last name together and then return the merged names in what? Lowercase. So what do? Remember the function here equals to concatenate. We double click like so, and then the first name, comma, the last name, then we enter. All right. So we have what we have here. So we have Kingsley Raje, Gloria this, but it doesn't really make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Because there are no spaces between. Okay, what do? Select the names again, then concatenate first name, comma. Next thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to make a space, like so, a space in between, concatenate first name, concatenate space, and then last name, I enter. All right, this makes better sense now. Now, the instruction was that we should turn the names that we've merged into what? A lowercase, let it be in lowercase. All right, so what do? We're going to put the lowercase function lower here in front of it, lower, like so, and double click, open bracket is open, then we're going to close the bracket like this, then we enter. All right, so we have the names normally as instructed, but I am not satisfied with this because names are not supposed to be in small letters. Let's give it a proper format. So we have the first letter of your name should be in capital letter. All right, so let's give it a proper format. So we change this lower to proper. We know the function here. proper, like so. Okay. All right, then we enter. All right, so this is normal now. Everything is going away as planned. I believe that you understand that. Very simple, very straightforward. Let's move to the next one. The next instruction, next query is that derive customer age as difference between birth date and other dates in terms of age. So we want to know how old is this customer in terms of age from the birth date when he was born to the order date when he ordered this item or when he did the order, right? So to that date. So let's tell the difference between those two. All right, so we call that we're going to call that particular field customer age. All right, so let's go down straight and then call this customer age. All right, we enter. Now remember the function we're going to be using here. We're going to be using the dated if function. Remember, the dated if function is one of those functions that you cannot find in Excel IntelliSense. So how does it work? Simply we say, okay, dated if as a function, then we're going to be finding the difference between the birth date, all right? The birth date is this, okay? And then the order date is this, okay? And then return it in terms of what? Year, okay? So, yeah, we understand, close the bracket. So we can tell the age of each customer, like for Kesley Raji, 53 years. Okay, what if you want to tell how old the person is from the time he was born till today's date? Let's tell what is the person's current age today equals to dated if, comma, all right? The birth date, comma, today. You know this function already now. Let me just remind you. Close it, return it as year, and like this, close this, and we can tell that today would have made the person, or today will make the person 66 years. All right, so the person is 66 years. All right, so that's not what we're dealing with today. We're going to remove this particular column. We select it, right click like so, delete it, and then we continue what we were doing. I hope that's I hope that's well understood. Do you all understand? I forgot, this is a recorded class. The next one is that derive the age band based on categories shown on the left side. Now there's what we call age band. And here is it, the age band or age categories, right? So we have between 13 and 19, call that person a teenager. If the age is between 30 and 34, young adults, 35 and 49, and all that information. So I'm going to copy this one out like this and bring in where we have analysis. Somewhere here, just for reference sake, we paste it there. I'm going to be calling that word age category, age category. All right, so that we can tell the age category of our customers. All right, so we're going to be using an if statement to make this happen. Now check. Now we have the lower bound and the upper bound. Like the lower bound is 13, upper bound is 19. So let's say anything, if the age falls between 13 and 19, all right, if the age falls between that, let's say from 19 downwards, okay, we're going to call that word. That customer falls on the age category of a teenager. All right, now how do we perform that? Now check, logical expression is equals to if, all right, the age, all right, is less than, now listen, 19. You cannot just come and say if age is less than 19. If you put 19 here, it means that anything less than 19 is from 18 downwards. So rather, instead of saying less than 19, we say if age is less than 20. You get that? Now, what do we call that age? Teenager. That age bracket is teenager. Simply say this, teenager, like so, this. All right? We comma again, we move on again to the next one. All right, the next one is for young adults, say if double click the age is what? This time around between 20 and 34. So less than 35. All right? Less than 35. What do we call them? Young adults. Young adults. Okay, close it. All right? The next one, if, again, age, if customer age, all right, between 35 and 49, already you know it now, less than 50. All right, 35 and 49 less than 50. Okay, what do we call him? Open it, adult. Okay, the next one, for the next one, 50 and 64. If, select this, age, all right, is between 50 and 64, that are less than 65, less than 65. What do we do? Oh God. Okay, we open brackets, and then we call them seniors. Close bracket. Then the final one, 65 and above. Check it out. Now, 65 and above will be if, all right, customer age, 65 and above. So we'll say greater than 64, all right? 64. What do we call it? What? We call it elderly. And then we close bracket. How many if statements do we have here? We have about 5, so we close the 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we enter. And voila, it comes out for us and we can see. All right, so we can use our filters to check and adult, elderly, seniors, young adults, and all that information is given on to us. All right, so let's move on again for the last one. And for the last question, we have the last question based on that. Derive the customer age, customer value based on revenue, all right? Customer value based on revenue. Okay, so this is the customer value here. I'm going to copy it out like so again. I'll take it to these other parts and then I'm going to paste it here. All right, customer value, going to put it, customer value. All right, now, based on the revenue he's making. If he makes less than 1,500, okay, anything from what, okay, let's not say less than 1,000, but from less 1,500, if he makes from 0 to 1,500, you get it, casual bias. So we simply say equals to if, all right, revenue is a logical test now. If revenue, let's check for revenue. Revenue, okay, you want to capture 1,500 is less than 1,501. You get the deal, okay? So what do you call them? Less 1,501 value casual bias. So we say value through casual bias, okay? And we close it. The next one, if again revenue, logical test revenue, we go select our revenue, revenue again, okay? Now what's the next if it is between 15,001 and 25,000, right? I'll be 2,500, 15,000, 1,501 and 2,500. So let's say less than what? 2,501. That one will capture 2,500. That's the upper bound. Okay. So what do we call it? Brand seeker. Hope you're getting this, seekers. And then finally, if, okay, if revenue, okay, now check. If revenue is more than 2,500, all right, 2,500, if you want to capture 2,500 and above, so we simply say greater than what? 2,499. Hope you get that. 2,499, it will capture from 2,000 and above. So you should be able to tell this. And then what is the value? What should we call them? Convince seekers. Close it. And we have how many if expression? 3. 1, 2, 3, and we enter like so. So we have that. All right, so we can always use our filter. We can check brand seekers and all. All right, so with this, we have answered the first part of or the first two parts of our assignment in this particular video. The next four will be made in the next video. So we've answered the questions correctly, been able to do our exploration. We've been able to add some new columns and then do one or two things. So I beseech you, please make sure that you compare what we've done, the correction with what you've done, and then see how to correct yourself. And then practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. All right, so see you in the next video. Have a wonderful time. God bless you all. Thanks for your stop.